Today I'm going to do a recap on things that I've come up with. So it's going to be top 10 inventions. Most of them are, well, they're all ideas. They're all concepts. They're all applicable strategies for life. So I'm going to try to rank them from 10 to 1. So that means the ones that are secondary to my top favorite ones that I've created that I incorporate into my life. So, starting the countdown from 10. So, number 10 is that I use a metal dental pick to clean my teeth every week, and you just go through it just like you would you would go to a dentist. And think about it for a second. If those people are able to clean your teeth, why can't you? And this is also a complementary idea to the idea of only using the specific toothpaste. It's called Jason C Fresh, and it's made with coconut oil. And for me, it's the only toothpaste that leaves my teeth feeling polished and clean and smooth. And so. And also, I use a towel or even a shirt to clean my teeth first, because even using a soft bristled brush, you can still wear the teeth down. You want to use something super soft like a cloth. It quickly removes plaque. And don't forget so I brush after every meal, and then don't forget to floss at the end of the day too. It's all about reducing a dependence on other people. Because the more things we can do for ourselves, guys, the more we're truly free and can be authentic and can actually serve each other more, because we have more skill sets. So at least we didn't second ideological invention, and that is the use of a notebook to capture your thoughts, because all those thoughts will control your mind if you're not careful. And so that means that you want to be writing stuff down, right? And so instead of it cycling over and over in your mind and reprogramming itself, you want to be listening to yourself. And this is like, as opposed to trying to listen to other people. And this is also about being your number one fan. So it's about making affirmations that say, like complimenting yourself, talking to yourself like, yeah, I'm doing a good job, or this feels good. Okay, so, and then invention number 3 is the concept of light work. Many people talk about it. I do it specifically like this. I imagine people smiling in brilliant white light. So for instance, I'll imagine and it's especially effective. See, the mind operates in imagery. So you want to be thinking about how to reprogram it with positive images of people smiling rather than thinking of negative things. And this doesn't mean that you're not careful and avoidant of certain people and negative people. You should be. But it does mean that you can get away from those people by programming your mind with constructive thoughts. So the way I do it is I imagine people that I'm upset at, or people like who are president or or authorities that might be attacked by demonic spirits. By the way, there are many of them. There isn't just one devil, quote unquote. There's lots of, mischievous dark spirits out there trying to mess around and get off, get energy, get negative, feed off of negative energy. And so what you want to do is you want to imagine the brilliant white light streaming down on these people. You can imagine yourself like an angel flying through the sky, beaming them. Imagine them smiling. Imagine a semicircle orb of brilliant white light around them. Imagine people reacting in astonishment. Imagine people just smiling, and not because they like you, not because you like them, but because you want to program your mind. It works just the same. Like if someone passes you by and they're not friendly to you, you can imagine them in your head, imagine them smiling, and you get the same physiological reaction as if they did smile in real life. Because reality starts in the mind. It starts as a concept of thinking about things. All right, come on, boys. So next of my inventions is I'm kind of calculating which one I want to say, right? Because which one is like my top favorite ones, and then which ones are like second on the list. So I want to say my very favorite. Okay, so then it's the way I eat. So I eat in a unique way. I eat like lots of cans of beans from Target, and then I eat cabbage with that, and I virgin olive oil, the 10-inch tortilla rounds, and I chop this up, and I get the jars of olives and jalapenos or pickles, and then I add sauces and add it all together, and some spices and different beans, like primarily garbanzo, black beans, red beans, and then they have a bean trio can. But these, and obviously you can cook lentils and cook beans at your house, and this is also good, but this just provides a satisfying, sustainable food. On the go, instant food, and it's inexpensive and healthy. Also, zucchini is another one I'll add to the mix, and onions. Maybe I'll buy a jar of salsa, add it to the mix to make burritos. And another food idea I have is I always drink a lot of water if I eat any sweets. Another one is when I make smoothies, I like to use like cooked oatmeal, add it to it, and then because that provides an inexpensive base. And by the way, I'm always avoiding anything soy, because soy promotes estrogen production. And I add stuff like broccoli. I think, look into kale. There may be some toxins in dark kale, but just broccoli is a good one. And then you run it up with fruit and like peanut butter and like bananas, and then adding stuff like a little sea salt and cinnamon to smoothies is also useful. Okay, so that was like food. Now, another idea I have is a renewed. That was number 4. No, No, that was number 7 or 6. All right, so number 5 is this renewed understanding I have regarding genders. I think it's imperative that people do practice healthy gender separation because it helps people to individually acknowledge through their actions that people do have desire to have create a healthy space. The youth be separated. Maybe they can all go to the same school, but just go to different classes and be like all the women and all the men, and then they can maybe see each other in the hallway and everything. But maybe it's best to have. I mean, for younger people, I mean, maybe in high school they can start doing that, but everything before that I think should be separate. I don't know. It's just stuff for you to be contemplating about the structure of society and how we can have a happier society, more worthy of trust, because you can't trust each other when all the men and young men are trying to seduce all the other men's, daughters and sisters and everything. We need to develop trust as men and regain leadership. And that actually takes me to my I think that was invention number 6. So invention number 5 is that single is how women should operate, and men should operate as the masculine leader and provider and protector, and women should. And this isn't an ideal society. Like obviously, if a woman doesn't have a legitimate father, or the father's not wealthy enough, or he's not an option as a guardian and protector, then the woman has to be more masculine and make her own money, but the thing is so invention number 5 is actually this. It's male and female guardians, and then conversely, the guardian client, the male or female guardian client, and so that's modified, and it could be abbreviated like MG, male guardian, female guardian, FG, and then instead of terms like father and dad and mother and mom, these terms are ambiguous, and they have a more implication of like an authority, and I don't like that. I don't want there to be an authority like that. I want there to be people who treat it as more professionally, like you do what your MG and FG tells you in order to benefit from their protection and providing for your basic needs. Because the whole idea of labeling someone, this is the critical juncture. The whole idea of labeling someone the idea of labeling your biological legal family, the idea of labeling them like that they're the most important, that they're like the ones that you should be committed to for life. It's unrealistic, because not everyone has the same values, and you should only stay connected to the people who have the same values as you. That's authentic expression of living a life. And so basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Point number 5 invention is when you don't label people your authority as an adult, and only label them male guardians and female guardians, and realize that when you're younger, and realize that you can't love someone if they're your parent, because they are in control of your they're helping you, they're giving you financial and emotional support, and you can't love someone until you can support yourself. Now, in the case of women, it might be different, because women should cling to their fathers and until marriage, I think, and so it's a little different, in that capacity. Okay. 4. This is going to be actually. Let's see. What's a good one, guys? What's a good one? You, for those who know my ideas. Okay, what's a good one, you guys? How about... Oh, so invention number 4 is the path to a loving marriage. It starts like this. Step 1, both people are ready for marriage. They are looking for a spouse. Step 2, the man looks at the woman. So this, I think, it works more when people frequent the same locations, or they're in the same environment, because ultimately you want to get married to someone who is like in the same neighborhood as you. You know what I mean? Who's decided on a certain place where they want to live. Of course, there are exceptions where people meet on the internet for marriage, but the reality is there are the reality is what's the reality? Is okay. So step 1, the reality is most things happen in person. All right. So step 1. Yeah, the guy looks at the woman to show interest. Step 2, the woman shows her body, like suggestively, like showing her ass, or just trying to look sexy and like show him that she's interested. So there, and then step 3 is the guy says hi and starts a conversation like, are you is your goal in life to be a wife, or is your goal in life to find a husband, or are you currently looking for a husband? So you get straight to the point. A lot of people don't do that way later, and what ends up happening when you do that way later is it's inefficient. It's like all this dating, which dating is supposed to be reserved for married couples to present to the world that, hey, we're together, so we're eating at a restaurant in public. Or even stuff like sex. Sex is supposed to be is supposed to unite people together. By the way, sex is supposed to be the reward for doing the hard work of raising a family and being committed together, and being like raising children, just like contributing to the world, and like committed, and you're like committed to a goal, so that way you get and promulgating the same values that you have as a couple, so that being to the world, and as a reward you get sexual gratification, and so basically, step one, the guy looks at the woman. Step three, the guy approaches, asks a pertinent, specific question, like I'm looking for a wife. How about you? What's your goal in life? Are you looking for? Is your goal to get married? Is your goal marriage? Are you? And so just something along those lines, because then it really gets it specific. Like, and try to approach it in the way of just like you approach the rest of the world, by not wanting to seduce them, because you masturbate, and so you don't need that get off from somebody else. You're in a frame of love. And so, when you look at people, you should see them as somebody who has a potential, future husband, and that's how we build trust as men, is we don't seduce each other's future wives either. Okay, what else? So then the next step is, after, if it's established that you're both looking for marriage and you have some common interests, after a brief conversation, then the man says to the woman, "Hey, would you like to? You're welcome to have my social media or email or phone." Basically, the guy puts the ball in her court, so she can decide what she wants to do. And by the way, here's another issue, guys, is we need to make it real clear that, like, when people are talking about marriage and everything, it's like, are you even interested in marriage? A lot of people will try to say that I'm not qualified to talk about it because I haven't been married. That's pretty stupid, because I can easily learn from other people's mistakes. And the point is marriage. And the people who insult me and maybe insult you, they probably have no interest in marriage. All right? So be conscious of that. Don't let people trick you into thinking that you're wrong. Just try to make the conversation like, "Hey, my goal is marriage. Is yours?" And then you force the question. All right. What else? Okay. Let's see. What else? We're getting even closer. Now it's invention number 3. All right, invention number 3, I'm going to call it masturbation, but it's the kind of masturbation. It's the kind of masturbation where the woman is not afraid to discover her body, and even realizing that most vaginas are larger, internal vaginas are larger and more elongated than most men's peepees. And by the way, the reason I like to use the word peepee or men's privates is because I don't really like to use the terms like penis or cock or dick, because to me it's in a way it's almost feels homosexual, and that's a really important thing, and people and men should realize, is that it's you want to make sure that you're going in the direction of masculinity, and if that's what you want. So things like not try to get sexual attention from women, not try to be too flashy, try to be like more masculine, not try to like wear short shorts, not try to be too colorful, not try to be the center of attention with flashy cars, but rather try to uplift women and give their vulvas attention, you know, because that's deserved. Okay, so moving forward, let's see, moving forward. Okay, so masturbation, right? And people need to realize that as masturbation, it's like the woman has to explore herself. The man should be trying to have sex with himself, really seek pleasure. Okay, and so So the recommended toy I recommend for men is the Doc Johnson. I think it's called the Celebrity Stroker. It's signature stroker. It's called, and it's just a very effective toy. And I actually removed. There's like a top part that's the soft. The gel product. I removed that top part, so because the problem is it's designed like one size fits all, but different men obviously have different sizes, so it's like we need to base it according to that, like how many of the ribbed and how shallow the toy is. They can improve upon that. And also stuff like only natural oils. They say they break down that rubber, but it's not so bad, and you can get a new one every so often. You know what I mean? So, all right. All that being said, and so that's for men and women. Make you to learn how to have sex with yourself, because that way you won't be controlled by your desires or by other people seducing you, and you'll be able to focus and wait for your future spouse. Now, certain religions like Christianity say it's wrong, but how the fuck else are you supposed to enjoy life and avoid premarital intimacy unless you do that every day? All right, moving forward, my second greatest invention, I would say, is that size doesn't matter. And let me explain what that means. So people talk about penis size, breast size. They talk about all this stuff. But that and that has to do with, the fact that women have bigger internal vaginas and everything. But what I'm here to suggest is that what's significant and most meaningful is the vulva. And so everything, I take it as points off. Like if you have big breasts, that's points off. It's a distraction from the magnificence of the vulva, which is the most beautiful thing. And then having a bigger PPS, that makes more sexual attention towards the man. that makes it, you know, more taken away from the experience of the vulva, and the focus of the cultural focus towards it as being humanity's flower and our number one priority. And it's kind of like this. It's like, as a man, what's your most important sexual act that you want to engage in? For a lot of people, for men, it's gonna be, you know, intercourse, like with the man dominating the woman, and it being about his, you know, penis stimulating the woman's vagina, and just him getting off. But for me, the number one act is oral sex on the woman, not even oral sex on the man, which a lot of guys are like, I want a blowjob from her. That's all they're thinking about, right? But I'm not being controlled by that desire for an orgasm. I just want to give the woman oral sex, because and this is leading up to my number one invention. You're gonna probably guess what it is, but let's talk about this first. Initially, this idea that, like, breasts are for babies, and then the whole focus on penis. To me, it's almost homosexual. Not that that's wrong, but it's wrong for heterosexual men, I think, to act homosexual. That's my opinion. Okay, I'm trying to get creative here. Okay, let's see. All right. So, and then my number one invention is Goddess V, vulva. It's like, what's the point of, hey, LMFO? Like, Goddess V is in control of the universe, and if we don't worship her, what's the point of life? What's the point of life without the flower? What's the point of life if we're not, you know, orienting ourselves around woman? It's who we are. It's the human experience. It's humanity, and there's nothing more beautiful. That's the perfect argument. There's nothing more of a sensory experience in the vulva, and so if we lead with that, then, and we don't act feminine as men. We don't want to hope for compliments and focus on our privates and our body, but rather we're focusing all of our, you know, expressions towards the woman. Then it leads to a peaceful society. And what's the point of humanity continuing in the species if we don't worship Goddess V? The way to worship Goddess V is all these inventions that I listed prior, which is taking good care of your health and treating men and women as sacred, and also that men should want virgins. That's the point I didn't mention. Some of these aren't exactly inventions. They're just adaptations from age-old traditions and religions, where, guess what? The Orthodox religions like Jewish and Muslim, they affirm a lot of what I'm saying in terms of, you know, not wanting premarital intimacy, healthy gender segregation, to respect, have a sense of space. Because, you know, when fucking two people are talking, man and woman, that they're trying to seduce each other. You know, it's stupid. We all know it. So we got to start acting like it and being honest with ourselves. And so, yeah, worshiping Goddess V. Otherwise, what's the point of existence? Why should humanity exist? There are other hominids with female vulvas that, you know, can worship Goddess V if humanity is not willing to. All right, guys. That's been a lot of fun, actually. My top 10 inventions. We'll talk next time. Aloha. Aloha.